Oddly enough, I think I enjoyed this episode more than any other episode of Monster Girl. I mean, I know the comedy of this episode was very cliche, and nothing so to say very original, but it was very enjoyable for me as a watcher. Now, it might be a variable of different things. Maybe the comedy struck the right chord for me to really enjoy this episode, or maybe it's because I really haven't read this point of the manga, and so this is kind of really new content for me, seeing stuff like this, and that could also be another major factor of why I enjoy this episode so much. But besides of whatever it is, I have to admit that this is a very good episode, well executed, and it couldn't have been any better for me. I was smiling and chuckling throughout this entire episode, and when an anime episode that's meant for comedy makes you smile and laugh throughout the entire episode, you know it's doing its job. But not all episodes, sadly, even comedy episodes can do this. Not every single time there's a comedy episode can do this, but when an episode can do that, that is when you truly can enjoy yourself and have fun, and that is exactly what Monster Girl did for me this week. It delivered the comedy and fun things that I really love about Monster Girl when I first started reading the series. And so yes, this episode definitely the most enjoyment I've had out of the series. Like, it's really good. And I mean, regardless of previous episodes, I wouldn't be watching Monster Girl if I didn't like the series. I'm just gonna say right now, if I didn't like the series, I wouldn't be watching. I wouldn't be talking about it in a discussion right there. But definitely the best episode for me. I mean, of course, not everybody's going to agree to that, because, I mean, it just comes down to what you like. Maybe you didn't like this episode, maybe you don't like Sue, maybe you don't like, Arachne, maybe you don't like certain individual characters in this episode, but it comes down to what you like, and this episode struck all those right points for me to really enjoy this episode, and I have to say, good job for Monster Girl for doing something like that. Now, in terms of the episode, you have it split up into two different segments, kind of like how it's been doing for the past couple episodes. You have the first half that focuses more on Centauria and also focuses on Arachne, and get to see how they interact between each other, how they kind of discriminate, and how they kind of start to get along at the end of the first half of the episode. I don't think I need to talk about that much, because it's just straight to the point with Centauria feeling like she is a monster really bad because she's discriminating against a spider woman, and she shouldn't be doing that, because, I mean, non-humans constantly get looked down upon, and they get, looked at as if they're monstrosities, and so Centauria felt really bad. She was thinking about something like that when she was looking at, the Spider Girl in this episode, and so to see that little bit of development, it goes to show you how the non-humans try to get along throughout this horrible society with humans looking down on everybody, and even non-humans look down on other non-humans. That's also what gets showcased with this episode. It's a very good way to kind of put that into the series. The second half of the episode, however, was mainly about our main male character getting sick, being sick, and having to have the girls of the series take care of him and help him out. But the catch is that there is this virus that is mutating and going around to where it can infect non-humans, which is very bad, because, I mean, if certain viruses can infect humans and non-humans, it can kill non-humans, which would be very bad. And so if you think about it like that, that's kind of why it was more of a Sue episode this week, with Sue kind of being the main girl of this episode and having to deal with, our main male character in his sickness. So it was a very enjoyable episode. I mean, I really like Sue a lot after watching this episode. Like, I didn't really have Sue as one of my favorites, but after really, I guess, watching this episode and seeing more about Sue and just see how she acted and some of the situations with the positions and stuff, it was pretty fucking hilarious, and I couldn't stop laughing. So, yeah, I mean, I like the food scene with the tragic food scene. Oh my god, like, when the food gets given to Meadow and she eats it, and then she talks like this monologue in her mind, it's like, oh, I can walk again. Like, the monologue or whatever is like, you can walk again if you drink this, but when you get your legs back, you'll feel your fins ripping off as you get human legs. And I'm like, how tragic. Okay, so, yeah, Monster Girl, on point, very good. I think I enjoyed this a lot, as you can tell. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.